Okay. I got places for you.
Today's week, the little box, the bracket. Yeah, today.
Oh, this is
Background,
You want to bring this down now?
She said she got a whole crew down in Florida.
Oh, wow.
Today. Live.
Yes, yes.
Working it out already. Shirley said she got a whole crew down there in Florida. They put it in live.
All right now, let's go, baby. Funky Friday.
Yeah, today I'm going to
What's
talk
up,
to
Funky
girls about
Friday?
carrying some things around in their purses for their men. Instead of those other things that they carry, why don't you carry some ginseng packs, some things that
We
make you
live,
proud.
we live. That's right here in the studio, elifemedia.net. It's the Peace in the Morning show, baby. Yeah. Peace in the morning. Peace in the morning. Peace in the morning. Oh.
She loves that. We used to, when we was younger, we would
You
dance.
just bust up laughing when I hear it go.
Yeah.
I said, you said it's something about dance.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a
We
good
used to do
time.
that at home.
That's so cute.
Love it.
All right,
Yeah,
we live right
we
now in the
have
studio, baby. Bring it down a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, we're about to do this. Double up, double up.
I want to move up there in that corner.
Okay, we'll move on because we on live. You got it?
How about if I trade my...
Huh?
If I trade my...
Oh, yeah, I'm.
No, I just moved here. I'm not still in the corner.
You sitting over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting over here. You can use this mic.
You want it? No, I didn't. I just want to move close to my son.
Come on,
Because we
yeah,
can't
yeah.
see here.
No, that's fine. Just move this over a little bit. That way to get both of you. Y'all a little bit more energetic than I am, so
We're going to get you there.
I'm there.
This is...
You come up here, son. All right, where we up? What we got? We on elifemedia.net. All right, here we go. Come on, tune in. Push that go live for me on that. We already on live on it. Hit that one too. Screaming. Boom. Yeah, here we go. Slide it over to you, little dog. Bring it in. Yeah, no, you. Yeah. Bring it over. You want it to you. Towards you.
Get up.
Yeah, you don't have to angle it. Yeah, that'll work.
Nah, it's getting you.
Yeah, you slide up.
I'm good.
I didn't want to see your seat. That was a good idea.
Come on, keep it moving, baby. Keep it moving. You gotta put that mic down. Pump, 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 pump it up. There we go. Oh, work it out. It's Funky Friday, live in the studio. You gotta slide over a little bit so you can be senior. We also do Freestyle Friday right here. That's right. Boom to boom. This is Darius A. Stanton at the Peace of the Morning Show. We got young Cassiana coming up. Oh yeah, this is Youthful Friday because we're bringing all the youth in the studio today. Also join with me in Peace of the Morning Show this morning, none other than the Queen herself, Queen to the world. What's up, Mom? Peace and love.
Peace and love. Give thanks and praises. Welcome, studio audience.
Yeah, all right, and you know who's in the studio with us, the man. That's right, he got his shirt on today. Legislative Black Caucus brother, State of Maryland Delegate Daryl Barnes. What's up, Big D?
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
No doubt about it, we in the house right now. That's right, we got a special guest, Marie Claire, mother of the superstar that's coming up. That's going boom, kabam, boom, kabam, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. Yeah, also coming in the studio this morning live right here on Peace in the Morning Show. None other than Darius A. Stanton II. That's right, the big boy coming in the house.
Big boy.
The main man,
Big man.
fresh off his trip from, I'll let you find out what island he came from. Well, it's not Trinidad, it's not Tobago, it's not the Greek
Jamaica.
Isles, it's not Jamaica.
Not the Grand Cayman. That's
Not
all
the
right.
Grand
We let him tell
Cayman.
us where
We'll
he
let
is.
you tell you where he came from, where he went, and where he enjoyed just this past week. That's right. Also, you know, we always got hot stories, and we bring peace in the morning. So we got some stories this morning that'll like take you to the next level. Matter of fact, we got one story Delegate Barnes gonna share with us. We're gonna talk a little bit about this sister who graduated, the slain mother of Mike Brown, graduated with her high school diploma, went back to school and dedicated her degree to her son. Just this week, she graduated from high school. Let's give that sister a big round of applause. You know, we always talk about it's never too late, so she turned that tragedy of losing her son into triumph.
Right on.
Delegate Barnes, so what you think about that?
You know, I think you just said it best, that it is never too late to learn.
That's right.
And this story just touches my heart because she found it fitting to go back to school and dedicate that to her late son. That should be an inspiration for everybody that has not received their degree, that has been contemplating on getting that for years, to take that step, to take that motivation, to go back to school, to further their education, to become all that they possibly can be.
You know, on Funky Friday, we're going to have a little trouble funk all day long. That's right, so just stay tuned for some more trouble.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
coming on back, that's coming on
Oh,
back,
yeah.
that's coming on back.
Give
real
a
soon.
sweet holla out for Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam down there in Florida this morning. We want to recognize her and all her beautiful friends and colleagues.
That's right.
Shout out Feel Better. We're sending out all our positive, powerful energy towards you, the sunlight, all the universal atmospheres, all the cosmic forces, all our divine and righteous ancestors that went before us to knock down doors so that we could be right here, right now, today. We love you, Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam. We're going to talk about you and some of the great things you've done already in the Senate. Thank you. Peace and love.
Yes, indeed. So if we can, now we're going to shift gears. We got another great story out of D.C. right here, local homeboy, Delegate Barnes, brother who was on
Kevin Durant?
Oh, man,
I'm
we got to
sorry.
talk about. Okay, if you want to call us and talk about the game, I just so happy that slipped my mind for a minute. Oops, I bumped my head only for a second. No, I was not talking about Kevin Durant, but we can talk about him because it's appropriate. Let's give it up for Kevin Durant. Homeboy from right down the street, brother George Hodge, Protect the Prodigy, one of his young boys coming up. Now is the NBA star, all-star, future Hall of Famer playing with the Golden State Warriors. And yes, he won last night, beat my squad, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Beat them pretty bad, too.
Beat him bad.
Beat it bad.
You know, I was so proud of Kevin and the whole team, but more importantly for him because, you know, he didn't make the finals with or get that championship with Oklahoma. So for him to come in his first year with Golden State, take them to the NBA Finals and win that first game in dramatic fashion, I think that brother's doing some amazing things. And we as a community right here in Prince George's County should stand up and be proud of him.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Kevin Durant put on a show last night as well as this Stephen Curry. So if you want to call us and talk about it on Funky Friday, now you know this is Freestyle Friday. Can we get some music in the studio? Is the trouble? Where's the trouble? No trouble? Boom, 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 boom. Well, it's Freestyle Friday, so I got walking in the studio just now, fresh out the box, Darius A. Stanton II. You can hear from him shortly. That's right, live all his way back from what island? You're going to find out in a minute. But call us on 240-455-5934 because we did predict that the Cleveland Cavaliers would win. Now, I was not surprised by that shellacking that they took last night because the arsenal that those boys had, man, they got shooters from all over the place, man.
you know, they have that team is going to go down in history.
It's got to.
You know, and I was somewhat disappointed in Klay Thompson though. You know,
He hadn't showed up all, but he hadn't showed up all playoff really with his offense, but his defense.
he was 3 for 16 in shooting.
And
But-
they still won by how many?
But my man is Draymond Green.
He's
As you said, let's talk positive. Draymond Green is a beast. He is the Dennis Rodman of today's era
with an offensive game.
with an offensive game. Absolutely.
And that's what makes him, in my opinion, one of the best players in the NBA. And I said, if he is able to keep his cool, he can play all that hard, wild, crazy stuff as long as he knows when to temper it down so he can stay in the game.
Absolutely.
Because he is the one that he's the defining factor, in my opinion. If he plays well and stays in, they got a chance to roll all the way.
Yeah. I think they're gonna win game 2. They're gonna win game 3.
Oh my goodness.
And as a matter of fact, they may do a sweep. That's my prediction.
Wow. Sweet.
Oh my
Sweet.
goodness.
All right. Well, I tell
Because if you
what,
look at last year, they were up 3-1 before Cleveland came back.
okay.
And if you look at, go to NBA.com and look at the press after the game with LeBron James spoke,
Right.
and they asked him, what do you think was the factor and why you guys lost? And do you know what his answer was?
What is that?
Kevin Durant.
Hey. Next one.
Kevin Durant.
That's,
You guys just go with it.
yeah, we got it. You hear it. Bring it up. 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 Ow. That's right, Funky Friday in the studio. It's also Freestyle Friday, baby. So it's time for the first freestyle. I'ma pump it up for miles. We got your people, you got your little one. Go and get your child, cause we gonna pump it up on Friday and make it real, real hot. That's right, Kevin Durant, he got one. But don't think that my man is out, cause he's coming back to do it. And he's going to do it right. Cause the Cleveland Cavaliers will not be swept out of sight. They're going to do it. Let's do it. Lisa Peachy Hastings, you out there? They trying to say our boy gonna be out of there in 4. I don't believe so. Yeah, that's right. Trouble Funk. It's Funky Friday.
Where all my DC people at?
That's right.
Where all my Maryland folks at?
Come on now.
Where North Carolina at?
It's North Carolina.
We're Atlanta, Georgia.
Where's Atlanta, Georgia at?
That's right. Where's Taiwan in the house?
We're Trinidad.
Where's Trinidad and Jamaica in the house?
Where my LA boys at? Where all my LA boys?
How about Miami? What's up, South Carolina? We got your boy in the studio today, Darius A. Stanton II, Mr. Claflin himself. That's right. The bird. How about the orange bird? Yeah.
And he's going to give y'all some talk about basketball that you haven't even heard yet.
Come on now.
Brother's up on it. Brother's really up on it.
Funky Friday. Funky Friday. With the Peace in the Morning Show. That's right. We got the independent artists. Come on, bring us your music because we want it. We're here from Carl Edison a little bit later today.
Yeah, we want to give a shout out to Roland, our superstar engineer, who goes through so many changes to make it possible for us to be here today. We'll show that brother all
Funky
about
Friday. Funky Friday. Here we go. If you want to roll with us, just tune into our station. Because before you know it, we'll be broadcasting across the nation.
Yeah.
It's international, universal, that's how we flow. Got Delegate Barnes and Queen to the world on the Peace in the Morning Show. Come on now. Funky Friday. Say what now? Funky Friday. That's how we do it, Funky Friday on the Peace in the Morning Show. That's right. www.elifemedia.net. Check us out. Now, here we go. When you bring your seed in the studio and he takes it up, he brings his clothing line. It's called the Rough. Ow! Come on now. Yeah. Funky Friday. Funky Friday. Funky Friday.
Don't forget to sexy side.
All
Here we
right.
go. Don't forget again, we're gonna hit that section
That
side.
motivated
Section side
me
for
already.
love. Bring it on down. A little bit. Bring it on down. We're gonna keep the music rolling, but we're gonna bring it down just a little bit. We'll bring it down just a little bit.
And girls, don't forget to take your
Yeah,
power.
be
When the
loud.
brothers come around, you gotta say, ouch. Have some ginseng in your bag. Make sure that they have swag.
All right now. So check it out. We live right here at Peace in the Morning Show. Funky Friday. You know how we do it. We also freestyle on Friday. That's right. So you see what we're doing. If you want to call us in, do a freestyle live right here. Ow. A freestyle, that was a screech freestyle. You know what I'm saying? That's right. We got cosmic beings coming into the studio, working it, y'all. Okay, so check us out. We got another story, hot. Brother from D.C., we talked about D.C. All the D.C. folks, peace and love. What's happening right here in the District of Columbia? We right next door to you on
DC.
214 Central
Home of
Avenue.
the queen, home of the queen.
So check it out. Delegate Darrell Barnes, we had a brother do some dynamic stuff in D.C.
You know, this brother. Once again, I mean, we have some positive things and images that's going on in our community.
That's right.
That I think I'm glad to be a part of such a program like Peace in the Morning Show. But this brother has been in and out of jail.
Right.
Had really nowhere to turn, couldn't get a job, and was basically he's disabled. You know, so what could he possibly do? So he took the onus on himself that says, I can't find a job. I've been in and out of jail many times. I have a child, and I have to do something to be a man and provide for my family.
Right.
So he went and started his own business. You know, there's a program in Washington, D.C. called Aspire. And he entered into that program with roughly 19 other folks that were incarcerated. And he started his own transportation business.
Wow.
Wow.
Right now, he has 15 employees.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, he operates 3 15-passenger vans
Good.
with
grief.
employees and drivers and dispatchers. Now he's able to help those that are in the same situation as him that are disabled. And I think that is just to be commended.
No doubt.
Right.
I mean, he
It's
just
totally
recently
powerful.
received a contract with the Medical Transportation Management to provide services for them. But the program is so awesome that the ones that have participated in the program have done businesses such as janitorial services, ground maintenance, and hair salons, and so many other services that they're lifting up the community. They're providing economic development and growth. They're providing jobs.
Yes.
You know,
Major.
and once again, these are the people that we oftentimes turn our backs on.
So when you think about it, you know, the next time, this is for all our leaders out there. All our leaders out there. When you think about doing a program, make sure you have a handicap accessible. Make sure you have someone who's doing sign. Even if it's nobody in the audience that needs sign language interpreting, you're sending a message. And the message that you're sending them is this community exists. There are young people who are blind and deaf. There are adults that are blind and deaf and have other disabilities, but they have other abilities as well. They have other things that they can contribute to society, and they need our support. So this brother is a shining example, somebody who was both on the street, had felonies, didn't let that stop him, kept on going. Disabled in a wheelchair, didn't let that stop him, kept on going. So here at the Peace in the Morning Show, we want you, whatever state you're in, whatever you're going through, whatever you've been through, whatever you might go through, to keep on going. Go to that next level. Keep moving, keep pushing. And on that note, we're gonna bring to the floor, ladies and gentlemen. Are y'all ready for our guest of the hour, our special in-studio guest? Yes, indeed. He is the man himself, fresh from the rough. Yes, right. But I call it the rough. He started his own clothing line, own clothing store at 17, 18, 19 years old.
Let him come in and tell us what he does.
Well, here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Bring it to the stage right here for the first time on Funky Friday, the Peace in the Morning Show. Darius, hey, he don't need that. He don't need that. Darius A. Stanton II. Let's give it up. You gotta speak loud and proud. You speak it into that right there. That's how.
Got you.
There you go.
Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing?
Oh, we
Thanks
all
for having me.
No doubt. Peace and love. Excuse me, Mom. Give me some that. Ah, no doubt.
Brother.
Yeah.
This is fun.
How you doing?
Good in yourself.
Good.
So, well, man, you've been all around the world, and now, your first overseas trip was to Trinidad and Tobago. You were,
Right.
how old were you at that age?
I had to be 7 or 8. Because
Okay.
Justice was 3 or 4.
Right.
So, yeah, I was young. I spent the summer in Trinidad. That was an experience in its own.
The Trinidadians out there listening and watching, brother.
No, and I love them too, but I went
But
down
just
as-
keep it real.
Yeah, no, I came as a, I was young and I was the American, you know,
Right.
so I was kind of you never really know how much of a tourist that you are until you're an 8-year-old tourist.
With a credit card.
Did I have a credit card?
Everybody was
That's
calling
right.
me, telling me you down there trying to charge things.
Well, my mother might have just sent it with me for peace of mind, because I don't remember that. But yeah, no, it was a great experience. You know, I remember a lot of sights, but it was funny because I was with Messiah, his family, and Baba for the whole summer, me and my younger brother. And it was definitely just totally different from anything I had experienced before, for a number of different reasons. One of those being I've never been away from my immediate family for that long, and 2, I was, being introduced to a whole different family, a whole different culture of a family, the Trinidadians, West Indies. I had never, we knew Baba and knew his family a little bit, but not to the extent of living with them for 3 months.
Right. So, to be in Trinidad at 7, 8, and just think, Darryl, you talked about it, you went down south, you have family down south?
I do
That's right, so
I
you
do.
went to spend some summers down south as a child?
all the time.
There you go, and mine, you went down south, and your brothers rode pigs in the summer?
Oh no, this was
They didn't ride
amazing.
pigs?
Don't be talking about my brothers on the air riding pigs.
Well, they rode pigs.
And
What can I-
choking chickens. Riding
What
pigs
can I
and
say?
choking chickens
What can I
and
say?
making my grandmother crazy.
Hey, but check it
That
out.
was the days of the bootlegging liquor.
But this is the deal. What we were showing you now, so Darius took that trip at 7, 8, 9 years old. I went to Jamaica at about 10 or 11 years old, right?
11 on his own.
So I've been to at least 10 different
With
countries
Stevie Wonder.
around the world. Darius now at 25 just came back from Cuba. But before that, tell us about your world escapades, the places you've been able to present your research as a graduate of the Duke School of Nicholas School.
of the Environment.
Right, Duke University.
Yeah, I would say a lot of my travels have really come through academia and through the work I've done through research. First, between the summer of 7th and 8th grade, I had the chance to travel to Europe on a 20-day excursion with a group called People to People, and where I was a student ambassador for a cultural experience. So I was able to travel to France, Austria, Switzerland, and Italy. And after that, I just knew whatever I would do, it would include traveling the world to some extent. So then I went to school for environmental science, and my minor was political science, and I was pretty active on campus, so I didn't, and I wanted to leave in 4 years, so I didn't do a study abroad while in undergrad. But then for my next degree, which was my master's in environmental management with a concentration in global environmental change, I made it a priority that while I was at Duke in the Nicholas School of the Environment, I would do some study abroad. And so the first summer, after my first year of grad school, I had a chance to do a sea level rise program in Venice, the Venice International University, where it was a 2-week course.
Venice, what is that?
Venice International University,
Okay.
so
Over in Italy.
Venice, Italy.
Wow.
So, Venice is it's a very interesting city because it's a whole city on water, and it's broken up to a lot of different islands. They created the islands kind of themselves through dredging and just sanded, putting a number of levels of sand up until it, was strong enough to hold actual building structures. And so they were a pretty good hub to do sea level rise research, just due to climate change and everything that's going on with global warming.
So what does sea level rise mean for people who don't understand that term, sea level rise?
So basically, It's about a little less, a little more than 3% of fresh water across the world. Then it's 97, the rest of it is salt water. So what's happening is due to global warming, a lot of the fresh water that's captured in ice is melting. So it's melting from some of the biggest ice caps, from real mountainous cold regions like Russia and things of that nature, to Antarctica, and then even like smaller places where you wouldn't think that there would be these ice caps, where it usually never gets too warm. So for example, like a Salt Lake City, Utah. So basically all across the world, places like these are melting due to the climate getting warmer and warmer incrementally through each year. So sea level rise is when that fresh water goes into the ocean and salt water, it creates a buoyancy, so it starts to just slowly increase in certain places.
So basically, like in the city of Annapolis, where they have the downtown dock,
Right.
in about 10 or 15 years or less, that water level is going to rise beyond where the dock is.
Anywhere that it's a dock. So yeah, definitely Annapolis.
The Naval
you could
Academy's
think
right there on the water,
Anacostia,
Anacostia
the
River,
Navy Front,
Navy
Navy
Yard,
Yard,
okay.
where the MGM was just built. All of those different places have they're at risk
Yeah, okay.
for flooding and things of that nature to be more frequent due to sea level rise.
So talk a little bit about the triple bottom line. And I want us to talk about the triple bottom line because I want us to understand how important it is for us to pay attention to our environment. I'll
Okay.
make this quick commercial. If you see people riding by on the street, throw trash out the window, blow the horn, say, no, give them a nod. No, don't do that. If you're walking behind somebody and they throw trash, say, young man or young sister or brother, pick that trash up, please. If they don't pick it up,
Right.
if it's nothing dangerous, you try to go down and pick it up. Let people see you put trash in the trash can. Take care of our community. No matter where you live, the earth belongs to all of us.
All of us.
But there are things that are happening right here and where we are, the base of Prince George's County, that are major challenges for us. So, dealing with environmental, all those different factors. So talk to us, Darius, about the triple bottom line. Then we're gonna come, they take some trouble funk back in, and then we're gonna come talk about Cuba, your last trip and voyage.
Well, I'm gonna bring another trip in too, but it's in
Keep
cohesion
on.
with the
It's
triple
all
bottom
good.
line
It's
theory.
your show.
But yeah, the triple bottom line theory is basically think global, work local, looking at economics, environment, and social. So people, profit, and the environment. And basically what you want to do is in any venture that you do, any business venture, any social venture, any type of product that you want to create, you think about people, the environment, and how it can be profitable all at the same time. A lot of different people have kind of used this type of model. If you think of urban gardening, for an example, when you think of landscapers that use environmentally conscious or ecological sound research to do the type of building production that they do, one of the things is like semi-permeable pavement, where basically there are construction companies that only use this type of pavement to pave roads, so when it rains, the rain kind of soaks down into the pavement and then it filters through, and then that's when it goes into the drain. Whereas a normal pavement or concrete or something, if it rains, it just hits that surface, it takes all that toxics, the pollution, everything, and then it goes into the waterway, runoff, dirt. But when you do semi-permeable pavement, it catches it, and then when it catches it, it's able to filter out, which is really beneficial in the long run for water quality. So that's just an example there. But the triple bottom line is really for people, the environment, and making something profitable at the same time.
So people, so that's people paying attention and being aware.
Well, thinking about people in the aspect of, is what you're doing causing harm to them or making their lifestyle or their quality of living more beneficial?
Okay, and then the numbers in the second bottom line.
The environment.
The
Are you
environment.
harming the environment? Or conserving the environment through
Okay.
whatever product or business venture you're doing?
And then the
then
third,
is it profitable?
Profit.
Can it make you money?
Can
You know, this is the baseline. What is the baseline for people? You know, if you think about a lot of people's reasons or companies' reasons for not, saying that they're going to be a part of this green movement is because it's not profitable.
Mhm.
But it's a myth in a lot of different cases. So making it profitable and making it business savvy or make sense for businesses is key.
I want to say that it is a myth because every aspect of green energy is profitable. Every aspect of green energy is a business format, and it is lucrative. Why do I say that? In agreement to what you're saying, your bottom lines, but also because it has jobs. It opens jobs. The minute everyone pays attention to recycling, there's a larger format on sensitivity to renewable energy, sensitivity to the purpose of renewable energy, and the sensitivity to recycling. Then more people will understand the mechanisms as to how this works and how this does positively affect all of us and the earth that we're living on. In addition to that, we can make money with that. When you're talking about the water, I'm thinking right now we need some people in this field, in the environmental field, to come up with ways we can prepare for the big meltdown. And I want to talk to you about that. The glaciers are melting 50 feet of water on a regular basis globally. We have two major cracks in the Antarctica right now, one the size of Manhattan, the other size of Philadelphia. One has moved 11 miles in 6 days. So you can say in 30 days it will have moved 55 miles, a crack that large. What does that say to us, Darius?
It says a lot to us. I think, first, it scares some people just because a lot of times we only think within our city, we only think within our backyard, we only think within our state. But it's important for us to understand, like we said before, is that all of the things that we do can impact somebody else. When somebody litters, like you said, it's just the chance that that same plastic bottle that you threw out could reach the eastern hemisphere.
Turtle.
It could choke a turtle in the Pacific when you live all the way in D.C.
Right.
And so
It's
important for us to understand how these little things, or things that are large but we don't feel the effect, are impacting somebody. I wanted to bring this back into as far as my studies go. My second year at Duke, my master's project looked at the feasibility of implementing a green building code in Bolivia. And so really trying to make it a law that all businesses or all industries, engineers, and construction companies use sustainable practices when they do any type of project. And so what really spurred that is in Bolivia, it's one of the most developing countries in South America, but they have lakes that are drying up. Not only do they have lakes that are drying up, the lakes that do have water in them are so toxic due to improper disposal of waste that they can't even use certain water resources because they're so toxic.
Because people don't understand the purpose of recycling.
Right, but then at the same time, that's an opportunity for a job. If you think about it, if you can set up a system that can stop that pollution, by recycling, like you're saying, use certain things for example, you can use a lot of different composts for gardening. If you use those things for gardening, you're not putting it into the waste cycle, and so then that'll decrease the amount of waste that's going in there. And then if you use plastic for construction, if you use sand for construction, the different materials, and you don't waste them, that can decrease the amount of waste that you have in general. And so we put a lot of these practices into our project simply because not only was it something that would be good for the earth, but it's such a necessity in that country. And a lot of the countries below the hemisphere, below the equator, are experiencing a lot of the climate change effects way more drastically than countries above the equator.
That says a lot. Senator Barnes, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, this is a fascinating topic that I think we don't discuss a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about the environment, most people think of, stuff that's in the ocean.
Right.
But we're not talking about, all the other things that affect us. And I really would love to get your opinion on the president's decision on removing us from the Paris climate agreement.
Accord. Mm-hmm.
So, and folks do not truly understand what that means, and that is a huge problem for our planet.
Right.
I'll
say, well, first, I think one reason why it's not talked about as much is because there's somewhat a disconnect between the necessity of why it's important to care about the environment. I think for a lot of traditional environmental organizations, they want to keep it pristine from the aesthetic. You know, they love the outdoors. You know, they love certain wildlife, but they're not being impacted on the flip side of it, where I don't have clean drinking water. Where I live by incinerator. Where I live, you know, so many people have asthma. You know, in our community, it's health that the environment impacts more so than the outdoor aesthetic. So it's important for us to have a conversation as to how does our environment impact our health and our children's health, because if not, we're going to continue to see an increase in a lot of things that we can't explain. For example, in our community, I know so many children that are around my age that have died due to cancer. That's a cumulative reason for that. You know, it's not just a genetic thing, it's also how your body reacts to the environment.
You know, I mean, the part that really gets me, even from a biblical standpoint, when you start talking about the environment, you know, and the rise and the tides and the glaciers that the Queen was just speaking about, and we haven't even talked about the ozone layer and how that affects us, you know, and what the possibilities of that, you know. So for a young man like yourself who just graduated from college, from getting your master's and majoring in environment, I think it's important and critical. I would love to see you become that scientist, because we need more black scientists out there that's looking at these things from a more of a comprehensive standpoint. And then how does it truly affect the African American community? And we talked briefly about, you know, recycling and those types of things and the water runoffs and that. But, you know, there's a whole lot that goes into environmental issues that I think, you know, I would love to have you back on the show so we can really start diving down and come up with that checklist of things that we can do as a community to make more of an impact in the places that we live and work. You know, we did something by removing smoke or smoking in restaurants. I think that, you know, that helped in some capacity. Major. You know, but, you know, I would love for you to give us a checklist of some other things that we can do within our communities, and us just out here on the Peace in the Morning show, that we can start disseminating that information out to folks to say, hey, if you just stop doing this, it will help you live longer. It will help you with your body. The Queen has gone over a litany of things in which that we need to start eating properly, and the things that we put in our body. But from an environmental standpoint, I would love for you to provide that for us, so we can share that to the masses.
Yeah, I definitely would love to come back and, you know, keep it
Well,
right.
we would definitely do that. But we right now we got an opportunity for us to talk about what you've been doing to create a business, to create awareness with people, and also helping financially in terms of yourself and other people in the community about the Rough. So, you know, that's a big deal. You know, start off with the Rough DC, and now it's the Rough. And it's a clothing line that a clothing apparel, online apparel store that you started. Talk to us about the Rough and why you created that. I don't know if we got any grooves we're going to make, because you know this Funky Friday, so we got to keep it funked up. But talk to us about the Rough before we get funky.
Okay, I'm going to really quickly, before I even jump to the Rough, I do want to answer your question, Delegate Barnes, just about Donald Trump, you know, just cutting from the Paris Accord and, you know, climate agreement. It wasn't a smart move. Nationally and internationally, it was a very misguided political action. First off, this is probably the largest agreement about climate change, about anything regarding international environmental security, and it really has huge implications for the sustainable development goals across the world. For us to back out when we were one of the major players that even pushed for it to happen
sends a real bad international message.
It's a very bad message, and it also, you know, what's happening is America doesn't want to abide by the current rules of what the Paris Climate Agreement stands by. So the past administration, we were moving into a direction which would alleviate us from using coal and oil reserves. the current administration wants to go back to coal, oil reserves, and not only those two, but also fracking, due to
Right.
what it can do for its quote unquote voters and its quote unquote following throughout Midwest and parts of Northern America.
And you know, when you talk about fracking, Senator Nathan Pulliam and us on the House side passed a no fracking ban in the state of Maryland,
And that was a strong,
which was a
very
huge
smart move to make.
move to make. So we're real proud of that, and I just wanted to insert that as you continue.
Yeah, that was super strong, and so it really is. It's an issue because for so many people they moved on it because America moved on it. Whereas America will pull back, you're going to see other countries try to do the same thing. You look on the list, it was only about two countries before America that declined to be on the agreement. Syria was one of them, and I can't remember. I think Nicaragua was the other one.
Yeah.
But now, slowly, we're going to see other countries start to pull out because they can say, "Well, America didn't, so why should I?" And it's going to have
A very negative.
some negative ramifications.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, so it's Funky Friday. We're ready to bring our in-studio guest. We got another young brother, Cassiana, who gonna funk it up on the Congo. He gonna play little drums for us right here live. If you want to give Darius a call and understand a little bit about where he's coming from with the green movement here, the rough movement, call us at 240-455-5934. That's 240-455-5934. We're here live with Darius A. Stanton, the Duke grad. You see I have on my Lincoln University, the Lincoln University.
Claflin grad too.
The Claflin grad, HBCUs representing historically black colleges and universities. Morgan State University, alma
Everybody's in the house.
mater of Miss Marie Claire, also Erica Stanton, mother and wife. So we're real excited about, promoting our HBCUs. Darius, your experience at Claflin was phenomenal. And while you were there, you were a green ambassador for all, Mr. Freshman, Mr. Sophomore.
I was sophomore senator.
Sophomore
I was Mr.
senator.
Freshman though.
Right, and then Mr. Claflin himself, which is a senior, and you won the President's Award for leadership coming out of the school.
Right.
There's two things that started there that I would like for you to talk about. One is the rough, and then the Mellon Fellow as you transition out, because I know you got a role to take a conference call, but we appreciate you being here live with
Sure.
us.
So I would say the rough really probably began with my sister around 10th grade, just from the standpoint of, for a while we always looked at thrifting before as, something secondhand, some hand-me-downs. But my sister came in the house one day. I can't remember what the piece was, but it was something amazing. And I was like, "Where'd you get that from?" And she was like, the Goodwill in Annapolis. And after that, that really just sparked my interest in wanting to thrift because I was spending so much money on shoes. I'm like, something has to balance out. It's either gonna be you spend a lot of money on clothes and your shoes be okay, or you spend a lot of money on shoes and then your clothes, you gotta find them at a different rate or a different amount. And so,
Well, you seem to be doing all right now with the new Jeezys
I-
on.
Yeah, but see,
I
what
keep my
happened
ear
was-
to the street. I know what's going on around here.
what happened was the thrifting.
Well, the thrifting, and you also shifted. So he did a little thrifting, but he also did some shifting in his spending, which had him, instead of buying Jordans every time they came out, he started buying Nike stock. So he made a shift. So for all the parents out there that are going out there buying their children the new Jordans, the new Durants, the new tennis shoes every time they come out, think about
I like the new Durants too.
investing. That no doubt. We going shoe shopping today. Invest in.
Size 13.
There you go. Invest in your children's future. Invest in your children's safety. Invest in your children's environment, their education, and put that money in other spaces.
Right.
16.
16? Gotcha. So 16, 13.
Right.
Number 13.
So the rough
But-
is really vintage clothing that really.
Yeah, so,
mission.
like I was saying, I always was thrifting, so that's where it came from. I think that it's important that whenever you do or get into a business, it's something that you would do in your off day. It's something that you would do when things aren't always sunny. For me, I always loved thrifting, and I had a sense of style. So I always wanted to feel like, how can I infuse what I want to do on an artistic and style standard with the environment as well. So the rough is a sustainable and green business essentially because we are not producing any of the clothes that we make. I mean, that we are selling right now. It's really, we're finding pieces from certain thrift stores, consignment shops, state sales, or even donations, and then from there, we're reselling the pieces. We may put an additional patch on it to give it the same flair of today and right now, but a lot of the clothing is not being manufactured again. Another thing is that textile industry is the second largest emitter of carbon. So back to climate change and global warming.
They're making the clothes.
The making of clothes, the
making
textile
clothes.
industry,
Right.
all over the world, different factories producing, all types of different clothing. And so from that standpoint, we're trying to mitigate that change through not having to reproduce so many more clothes. There's so much clothes already existing. So many people you may know, they just are seasonal clothing wearers and buyers, where the summer come, the summer clothes they had last year, they throwing them all in the trash. They're not even taking them to Goodwill. And so, that's just.
So you can get name brand, $500, $600, $700 clothes from Neiman Marcus and Nordstrom, but you can go to Goodwill, Value Thrift, and a whole lot of other up and high end thrift stores and clean up on suits, bags, all the things that people spend an inordinate amount of money.
I just bought 2 Christian Dior suits, full suits, no snags, no tears, all buttons there, you name it, in a Yves Saint Laurent suit out of the same Goodwill. I really don't want to tell you how much I paid for them because y'all would start going to my spots, but it's really a deal.
So give us a little bit. How much was it? Give us just a
Total, it was $30. I paid $15 for 2 suits in the Goodwill.
Wow.
Yves Saint Laurent and Christian Dior. I could resell both of those suits for $300 easily.
Wow. So this has been Darius A. Stanton II at the Piece of the Morning Show.
Thanks for having me,
First but
everybody.
not last, he'll be coming back on with his segment called The Rough. Look out for it, because The Rough will be one of our segments coming up on the Piece of the Morning Show. So we're going to go to a little Bootsy, because it's Funky Friday on the Piece of the Morning Show. And then we're going to bring up our own musician in the studio, Prince Cassiana. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, as we shift to the Piece of the Morning Show. So get funky with us on Friday at the Piece of the Morning Show. Come on now. Peace in the morning. Peace in the morning. Say what now? Peace in the morning. Ow. Peace in the morning. Ow. I love that trouble.
Where you gonna stay?
All right, Daddy. I'm going to switch Darius' spot.
Yeah, that was back at the Pentagon.
All right.
A little bit
Who needs a table?
older than Rolling Stone.
Do you want me to? I can do that job.
Ow. That's my song right there. Start this thing off right. Let's go in the house tonight. So we're going to start this thing off right. Because Cassie in the house tonight. Ow. Say what? Ow. Say what? Ow. Say what? That's right. We're going to start this thing off right. Santana Moss in the house tonight. Yeah. We got Santana Moss this weekend doing big things with Gilberto Green and his foundation, the Santana Moss Foundation.
Yeah, all together. Go.
Wow. All right, we're going to introduce. That's right. We're right here live at the Piece of the Morning Show, Funky Friday. And we want to acknowledge Delegate Barnes in the house. That's right. In addition to that, Brother Grimes in the house. We got Prince Cassiana in the house. Just left Darius A. Stanton, Queen to the world. That's right. Trouble Funk is cranking. And the drums is spanking. This weekend, it's a lot going on. Check us out. In Annapolis tomorrow, we're doing the Bates Middle School. We will have the live boot camp, the Mid-Aiming High boot camp tomorrow, Saturday at 9 a.m. Not too late to register. Give us a call at 240-455-5934 or give us a call on my mobile at 410-703-1898. So you can register your young people for the boots on the ground, the boot camp for our young people so they can protect themselves and learn how to box, learn how to think, learn how to pursue their passion. So we're gonna hurry up, turn it over now. We're gonna break it all down. That's right. All right, so right here in the studio now, you get a chance to see none other than Prince Cassiana. He's gonna take it over. It's Funky Friday, and you know we believe in promoting our young people. That's right, he's in the studio today. So another brother out there called, oh man, the Young Dylan is the man in Annapolis. Been on the Ellen Show, NBA, MVP, All-Star Game. Ladies and gentlemen, Queen, take it away.
This is Cassiana and Tim, and what you want to tell us? What's today? Funky what?
Funky Friday.
Funky Friday. And what you gonna do for us today?
Drumming.
Drumming. Okay, hit it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All together now. And go. Stop. And go. And go. Get your audience. And go.
Look at your love in the camera. Look at the camera. There it is. Yeah.
And fast.
That's right. Work that tongue. Work it. Work it.
And 1, 2.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
And all together now.
Look at your mom. That's right.
And stop.
Let's give it up for Cassian. Funky Friday in the studio. He gave take a bow. One more time. Hey, Heartbeat, if you're looking, brother, we got to bring our young brother. We got a student for you. You know this is Go-Go Live every Tuesday night, 8 p.m., 9 o'clock with the brother Heartbeat right here at elifemedia.net. But today we had Prince Cassiana in the studio. Let's give it up. Take a bow, Cassiana. Yeah. All right.
I want to just give the parents a boost when you have children. I always play drums first thing in the morning. Before they go to school, before you go to work, get yourself some nice drums and play drums. Even if you don't know how to play drums, hit those drums. Bring in the divine ancestors. Bring up a divine spirit, a lot of powerful energy. Hit the drums in the morning. I want to just give a shout out to Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam and talk about a bill that she put in that was passed by the Senate. The bill is real powerful bill. Down in Florida, they're already doing it, and that is a consumer bill. It's called the
Nope. What?
bill to
Nope.
label
Yeah.
non-GMO products and products with
Bring it back.
oh gosh, I can't even think of it. Products that have chemicals in it. Okay? Products that have chemicals. She's putting out a bill right now for removing the stigma behind not labeling. It's very important that parents, buyers, consumers, we read the labels. And on these labels right now is a very powerful movement to get people to label when you have meat, you have antibiotics in the food. She has worked to pass a bill that labels the food as non-GMO and it has or does not have antibiotics in it. Very, very important bill. We need to push that here in Maryland. We can Delegate Darrell Bonds so people can know if you're buying foods that have antibiotics, you don't know it, you don't even know how and why you're getting sick. All these things are powerful. What Darius was saying about the water, why it's so important for renewable energy, people to take the initiative, get the water machine, that's another alternative. People for restaurants, you have restaurants, you're giving people that poison water, you know that water's no good. Get yourself a Kangen water device. Filter that water. Give them alkaline, ionized water. Let's clean up our community. Let's take our community back. People talking about it's the devil's world. It's not the devil's world. It's our world. We're the gods and goddesses. We have the power. It's up to us to clean up our community. Not wait for the man to come sweep it. Clean it ourselves. That's the power in unity. That's the power in strength. That's Black Power and the Peace and Love in the Morning Show.
That's
Man.
right.
All right.
It starts at home. Delegate Barnes, you want to take us out, give us something positive on as we roll on around the horn?
You know, I think this has been great. This is actually my first Funky Friday. I have been extremely busy on Fridays, but I am so excited, and I'm always proud to see the young Stanton in the house.
No doubt.
Nice.
I am so admired by that young man and his ability to do the things that he's doing, his willingness to give back to his community, his willingness to mentor and help other young kids, I think is to be commended and is a true testament of his grandmother and father and mother for the lessons that you guys have taught him. So continue to do the good job that you guys are doing.
Thank you very much, Delegate Barnes.
Peace
No
and
doubt.
love, peace and love. And the tip for today on the sexual healing,
Holistic sexual healing.
sexercise.
Holistic sexual healing.
Oh, well, that's my
Uh-oh.
that's the tip
Holistic,
for the
come
day.
on, slide in so you can see your holistic sexual healing and family lifestyle.
Don't you
Sexercise, exercises for love. Give it up, Queen. Sexercise, exercise for love.
Exercises for love.
Exercise.
One thing about it is that we need to do more twisting
Uh-oh.
so we can get the waist together.
Uh-oh.
Mothers, fathers, shake off that fat.
Shake it off.
Start, twist round and round. And
Shake
when
it
your
off.
man's come in the room, that's when you really want to start twisting.
Okay.
You want to just twist when nobody's home. As soon as the man come in the house, you just start exercise. You look for the car to come. You see the car pulling up. Run downstairs right by the front door and up and down and up and down, up and down. Show him what you're working with. Then you start twisting. Comes in the house, you can't even think about what he came in to fuss about because
That'll
you're
do it for
twisting.
me.
Okay,
Get all
another
pumped up
thing
and ready
is,
to go.
Right line.
Another thing is get yourself some Korean ginseng chips. Okay, you get them in any Chinese store. They're like this. Put them in the man's tongue, let him suck on it. Always has power. It rejuvenates him, it revitalizes him, gives him energy, and it makes him feel good. It's very good for the immune system. A number of things like
Now, when do you take the chips?
anytime.
And what does it do for you for prime time?
Well, when
Because you
it's
said
time for
prime
you,
time was not middle, it was middle of the day, not middle of the night. But
no, in the middle of the day. And when the energy is high, when the sky, whether it's cloudy, raining, or filled with sunlight, the sun is highest always between 12 and 3 o'clock in the day.
Now, should the woman take the chips too?
Well, she can, and it doesn't really hurt. It's very good for the men, but it's not going to put hair on her chest.
Okay.
But it's going to help you revitalize yourself and also good for the immune system. And I want to encourage women to be about things that make your man feel good, and men be about things that make your woman feel good. And also in dating, sisters, if you're getting in the car with a man who doesn't open the door for you, you either teach him how to do it or stop dating him. It's obvious he doesn't have training or he doesn't respect you. Brothers, if you get in the car with a sister and you open the door for her, and by the time you get on the other side, she has not unlocked that door for you, then that means you got a problem. You should stop dating him, or you should teach him if you really care about him enough. Okay, the next thing you want to recognize in dating is responsibility. You really care about a young girl, get her home early. Don't try to keep her out late at night. Get her home early. Okay? Young ladies, if you're out with a brother and he's smoking weed, drinking liquor, you need to call your parents and say, I need a ride home. Okay? You need to call them and let them know you need a ride home. All these things are about respect, responsibility, and accountability.
And you need to know that on Funky Friday, because it's Friday, Saturday.
Everybody getting ready to
That's
jam.
Jam and date, that's what's going on. So this weekend, go to Santana Moss's site. He's doing a lot of big things. He's a good brother. He played football here, but now he's back in the community doing his combine. He's doing a charity golf tournament on Sunday. Also, so go to Santana Moss, Going Green with Santana Moss, Santana Moss Foundation. Look him up. Also, the men ain't been hired tomorrow. We're doing the Young Men's Boot Camp. So we want to definitely get out to that. Bates Middle School, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning in Annapolis, Maryland. Give us a call at 410-703-1898 if you want your young people tied to that. And then thirdly, Tremaine Crawford, our brother who shares a lot with us and works with us in the community with 100 Black Men. They're doing a program tomorrow at Oxon Hill Library, I believe it is. Go to 100 Black Men of Prince George's County site, and you can see what's going on with the 100 Black Men. And I believe there's a parade tomorrow. Good
District Heights.
District Heights Commissioner that was in the studio with us, none other than Jonathan Medlock. That good brother, they're having a District Heights parade. And so if you want to check that out, what time is that parade, Delegate Barnes?
9 a.m. Tomorrow morning, District Heights, Maryland. We will be, it's District Heights Day. So we're looking forward to that. I'll be out there with my team of folks as we're walking down the street, shaking hands and kissing babies.
That's right, that's
Right
right.
on.
So listen,
Good brother, Delicate Barnes.
as we roll out for the Peace of the Morning show, the peaceful moment today is going to be focused around being heaven today. Heaven right here on earth. Bring heaven today. And the way that we're going to bring heaven, first and foremost, we're going to make sure that we pick it up. We're not going to let people just keep on throwing trash and dropping it and not holding ourselves accountable and other people. Secondly, to be in heaven today, we want to make sure that we just continue to push peace and push love. Stop the gossip, stop bringing people down, stop talking about the negative, stop praising and being excited about people's misfortune, even those who have done things to us. Because are we perfect?
No.
Have we done everything right?
No.
So we need people to give us a break, forgive us, give us a second chance. Other people deserve the same chance.
Right
So
on.
don't take pleasure in somebody else's disheartened situation. And last but not least, in bringing heaven in today, take time out for yourself, meditate and pray,
Right on.
and keep all those good vibrations on your mind all the time as we sun and we shine here on the Peace in the Morning show every Monday through Friday, 9 to 9,
Peace.
9 to 10 a.m. That's where we are,
In
ladies
the
and gentlemen.
morning.
Peace,
Peace
in the morning. So we want to thank everybody that came out. Thank our
Peace and
engineer
love.
Roland in the studio, station manager. We want to thank Miss Marie Claire, who will be back on soon with us right here at the Peace in the Morning show to talk about real estate. So you want to check that out, home ownership. Instead of renting and spending all your money giving it to somebody else, you can own that home yourself, get another one, rent that out. That's right.
And
Right
in
here on the
those
Peace
who are
in the Morning
interested
show.
and want to help us at the Peace and Morning Show, we have an engineer here. They have a program, eLife Media. Find out how. Call in at 240-455-5934 and find out how you can financially support the radio program, elifemedia.net.
All right, and you see right I got on the Community Action Agency, over 50 years old, they're all over the country. These are the people that help keep your lights on. These are the people that help you pay your rent when the rent is due and you don't have the money, you're facing eviction. These are people who help to empower you. These are the people that run Head Starts, where children get an advanced mission and take you to the next level. So make sure you support Community Action Agencies. So shout out to all the Community Action Agencies in Anne Arundel County, state of Maryland, throughout the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been our show on
Peace.
Funky Friday, right here for Delegate Barnes,
Peace
Queen
in
to
the
the world,
morning.
Cassiana. Peace in the morning, baby. Peace and love. No doubt.
All right.
That's right, Facebook Live. We appreciate you joining us live right here in the studio. We're going to funk it up. Be with us Monday. That's right. We got a lot to talk about. It's going to be hot, Political Monday. This coming
Yeah.
Monday, right here in the studio.
And we're going to have a call-in, apologize, brother. We're going to have a call-in from Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam from Florida. She's in Florida right now, and she's got something to tell the people in Baltimore.